Hello, hello everybody. Laurie here from Unique in the Creek. Hello, hello. Thanks for joining me. I have a special project to share with you guys tonight. So say hello when you come in. Let me know where you're watching from. We are streaming on Facebook, we are streaming on YouTube, and we're streaming on Instagram. Hello, hello. Hi, Tina Felkenham. So tonight I am going to show you, so you guys know I'm always fooling around with mesh, trying to come up with easier solutions for you guys and inexpensive solutions for you guys, right? So I'm always playing around with different ideas. And as you guys seen last week, I came up with a really easy way to make a rose, and we did a braid. Thank you for sending me. Thank you for if you guys wouldn't mind sharing me, that would be wonderful. Just share me to your personal page, and somebody out there might be bored to death and sick of the news and want to come over and do some crafting. Anyways, so I showed you guys how to make a really cool, very easy rose wreath last week, and we braided the center. Barb Love, I just seen your pink one that you posted from our tutorial last week, and oh my God, it is perfection. Anyways, so was it last year or the year before? I think it was maybe it was the year before. So a few years ago, I made a charcuterie board with Lauren, my daughter. And we made rosebuds with salami for our charcuterie board. So I was looking at the rose that I did last week, and I'm thinking, how could we make the center of the rose that I showed that was very easy? How can we make the center a little easier? Because feedback is everybody loves the rose wreath, but everybody struggles with the center of the rose, okay? It is one of the more difficult flowers to make with the Unique in the Creek boards. It's more difficult flowers of all of them to make. But I think I've simplified it, you guys, and I think it's going to be spectacular. So we're going to get started. So I'm going to do a cream colored rose. Okay. I'm going to use, this is felt, and you're going to need 6 pieces of 9 by 12 felt. Okay. So I'm going to do 3 and 3. Okay, so this is called Antique White. So if you're going to the dollar store or Michael's or Hobby Lobby, bring along your mesh. Maybe bring the mesh that you want to use. Not saying what I'm going to show you tonight has to be made with a rose. It's just an easy way to make the rosebud center. It will look fabulous if you did a brown one with Dean Michael petals as a sunflower, and you'll see why in a second. The sky is going to be the limit. I'm telling you guys, it's such a simple thing, and I was just super excited when I did it. Anyways, so I'm going to be using cream colored fabric mesh, and I'm going to be using cream colored felt. Okay, 9 by 12 felt, normal craft felt. Just the floppy stuff. You don't need anything fancy, okay? So what you do need is the 6 pieces of your felt. You can match your colors. I wanted my rose to match, so we had one solid color. Scissors, a pencil. I'm going to use few clips, and a 4-inch round template of some kind. I have this red cup. The circumference of this cup is 4 inches, okay? 4 inches right on. Okay, so we're going to trace with a pencil lightly, because you don't want to see, like the first one I made, okay, this one I was playing around with. I'm going to give you guys a sneak peek, okay, of what it's going to look like, because this, I was just playing around, and I happened to trace my circles with red marker. Okay, look at this center. You guys are not going to believe how easy this is to make out of felt. There's the back, and it's 8 inches wide. So this is a yellow one. Now, why I said that is because I traced my circles with red marker. So you can actually see some of the red marker. Like I said, I was just fooling around, just playing around and trying to come up with different ideas. And it's like, oh my God, eureka moment, right? Mad scientist. I'm going to show you how easy this is. So we're going to take our 3 pieces. You're going to do this 6. You need a total of 30 of these 4-inch circles. Okay? 30 of these 4-inch circles. Seems like a lot. It's not. Take 3 pieces. We're going to do, this was 3 pieces of felt. Okay? And I cut them. Watch how easy and fast I cut them. Okay? So you're just going to stack your felt up, the 3 pieces. Okay? You're going to take your cup, 4 inches. So whatever you have, go around. I went around the kitchen with a measuring tape, measuring everything. And last thing I picked up was this cup, and it was perfect. So I'm just going to do 5 circles on my felt. Okay? So, and the cup will come in handy for the next step too. So there's 1, 2, there we go. So I'm just lightly, because you just need to see the top. And I'm just cutting with scissors. If you have a Cricut or something, you may be able to cut felt on your Cricut. I don't have a Cricut, so I'm just doing it the old-fashioned way. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we're going to get 1 more on here. I think I was supposed to do it in the middle. I was. Okay, let's start over. Okay, let's do that again. I can't see, but there. So 1. You can get 5 on here. I think I forgot I did it in the center. Okay, so 2. 3. 4. And there we go. And then in the center is your 5th one. Okay, so we're going to actually get 15 circles all at once. Okay? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You guys with me? I know you can't really see it very well on the camera, but we don't want to see it very well. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to cut kind of around. Just so it's easier to cut your circles. We're just going to trim around and then we'll cut it. So you're definitely going to want some sharp scissors. And if you don't have sharp scissors, I wouldn't do 3 stacks of felt. Just maybe do 2. Okay. All right, and now I'm just going to cut out my circles. Doesn't have to be perfect, but I'm just cutting around that pencil mark. This is where the clips come in handy in case your circles want to separate or something. I just throw some clips on there. Again, doesn't have to be perfect. Okay, so there's 3. And felt is fairly inexpensive. You could even use fabric if you kind of put a little bit of a stiffener on it. So if you stiffened your fabric, you could do a fabric center. And there's all kinds of different fabrics. You can use Ollyfun, which is, it's Ollyfun. It is an actual outdoor material. So if you want to make a rose for outside, your mesh is weatherproof, your board's weatherproof, your zip tie's weatherproof, and if you need your center to be weatherproof, use Ollyfun. Again, if you're going to put a rose on your door and you don't have a screen door, which we do here in Canada, a lot of us do, you can also spray it afterwards with outdoor fabric spray. I'm not making the greatest circles here because I'm going really fast. It protects the color. I don't have my can here. Oh, I do, right here. Scotch Guard. So if you want to put this on your door and you don't have a screen door or something, you can spray with the Scotch Guard. You spray your whole wreath, including your felt. And that'll help with fading and it'll help with water resistance because it has water and sun shield with UV protector. This specific one I got on Amazon, and you can find the link under Laurie's favorite tools on our website for that exact one. All right, so we're done. So we got 15 circles cut. Like I said, they're not the best circles, but they'll work. Alrighty. Everybody with me? All right, so now we're going to use our cup again. I have 15 circles and another 15 circles. We got our glue gun. I did find the charger finally for my cordless one. Yay, perfect. Let that heat up. So what you're going to do is you're going to take your cup that we used for the circle at 4 inches. Like I said, I'm making an 8-inch rose bud. Okay. You can make smaller or bigger depending on the dimension of your circle. If you want a smaller rose for the center, I would use a smaller cup. So like maybe a 3-inch cup if you want to make like a 6-inch felt center, okay? All right, watch how easy this is. We're gonna take one of our circles. We're gonna fold it in half and we're gonna put it on the edge of our cup, okay? Then I'm going to take my glue gun. I'm going to put a little bit of glue just to the right. Okay. We're going to fold it in half again. And I'm going to put it on the rim of the cup again. Now this is how I made my salami roses. Salamis are automatically round, so I didn't have to cut anything. And that's where I came up with the idea of, oh my gosh, I can use felt and make a rose. Okay, and we're just going to keep going around and doing that. And you'll see in the end what we come out with. Now, I was showing you guys fold it in half if you want like perfectly even petals. As I was going, I just was putting them on the cup. So once the rim is done, we're going to put the next layer in between. So the rounded part goes right here. Okay, just like that. Okay, just a little bit of glue. Just like that. Use a bit of glue, so. And you'll see when we've finished how fabulous it looks. So we're going to use 29 of these half circles as we're going around. and 1 for the back. So I'm just kind of, like I said, I'm not really halving them. You can kind of see the half, guesstimate the halfway. Looks like a pierogi. So we're just going around. And the fun thing is there's so many colors of felt. There's so much fabric. Like I said, you can stiffen a little bit, stiffen any kind of fabric. You know, just like a cotton fabric, maybe a black and white or something. And cut circles and do the exact same thing. Yeah, Laurie doesn't have crickets, but it took me like minutes to cut them out. So like I said, I'm making an 8-inch rose center. So I'm using 30 or 29 circles. Now, as I'm getting fuller, I was halving them. I'm going to kind of have not quite half on the rim of the cup, but maybe like 3/4, or because as we go around and it's getting bigger, I want the petals to show, these petals to show more. So I'm just kind of making them a little larger coming out the bottom, which means I'm not putting it right in the center. I'm just kind of doing it like that. Who would have thought something so easy like this, right? Me. After rose salamis. And then we'll make the rose. So, can you guys give me thumbs up if you guys think you can make this at least? I even think Jackie can make a rose like this. Okay, we're almost done here. Circles aren't quite the perfect circles or anything, but it's okay. Okay, so we need 1 for the back, and then I have 2 more left. So I'm going to put 1 here. And I'll put 1 right diagonally across it. Okay. And then I'm going to, on the rim here, just go around. I think I might have made this big. Okay, we're going to pop that on the back. And while it's flipped over, you're going to take a cable mount, slide a pipe cleaner through your cable mount. Okay, I'm going to put some hot glue on the center. Hot glue and felt love each other. We're going to tap that on. Don't push it down with your fingers because hot glue might come out of the holes here. All right, and then we're going to pop it off the cup. Ah! Try not to get glue on your cup. All right, and then we're going to just can fold out. Oops. Just fold out some of these petals. Okay, now if you want to spruce it up a little, you can then take some Mod Podge. I know, Jackie, I was teasing you. Okay, I'm just going to, because we have to bling it up a little. So I'm going to take a little bit of Mod Podge and just sporadically put a little bit of Mod Podge on the outside here. Not too much. And I'm going to sprinkle glitter. This is just white glitter. I ran out of the, what's the glass one I use all the time. And I think I'm going to put a little bit over on these ones. And you don't have to glitter it. I'm just glistening it up a little bit. Just on the kind of the tips of the petals. Okay, sprinkle more. Jackie's sick of glitter. I heard her the other day. I think everybody's probably sick of glitter. All right. Maybe just a little bit on this one at the edge and on this one at the edge. I think I went out too far on these back petals, but it's okay. So if you're going to make yours, just keep going half all the way around and you'll get a perfectly 8-inch. Mine's probably more 10-inch now. All right, so we're going to take this, turn it upside down, shake it off, get the excess glitter off. All right, and look at that. I don't know if you guys can see that. It's absolutely stunning. It actually looks like frost on the tips of the petals. Isn't that fabulous? Okay, that's it. Now we're going to make the body of it. So let's use wax paper or something if you're going to do glitter so you don't waste any. And then you're going to get your container. Okay, so of course, like I said, doesn't have to be a rose that you make this center for. You can do any kind of flower petal and have a rose center. All right, let me vacuum this up. Okay. Oh my gosh, I wish you guys could see this in person. But you'll probably be able to see it better once I post the picture. I am just going to put a little bit more hot glue on the back there. There we go. Okay, we're going to put that aside and let it dry. By the time we're done the base, it'll be all dry. Just make sure these are turned outwards because the glitter will help it keep its shape outwards. Okay, so like I said, I'm going to put that aside. And we're going to be using the large board. Okay, we're going to use the large board. We're going to use start with row 2. We're going to do the garbage. I was looking at Jackie's comment. We're going to do row 2, the normal holes, row 3, the normal holes, so 8, row 4, the normal holes, and row 5, let me see, I think, like I said, I think this rose is a lot bigger than yeah, so this rose is like 9.5 inches. I'm still going to do row 5 with 8 of them. Just because I have all the mesh already cut. So we're going to do 16, 8, 8, and 8, which is 40. Okay? You're going to cut your mesh at 10 inches. Even though this mesh is 10.5 inches wide, I still cut it at 10 inches because with this petal, we just need the curve of the petal, so you don't really see the bottom here, right? Okay, so you're going to take a piece of your mesh. This is 10 inches, curl up, right? So if you roll it back and forth, it's curl up. You're going to turn it into a diamond shape, factory edge, top left, bottom right, all the time. Take the top corner, bring it to the bottom corner. All right, I go to the right, and I'm going to pinch 4 inches up. So the corner of my little umbrella thing here is on the 20. So I'm going to pinch at the 16 here, and I can see through my mesh. So I'm going to pinch here, right in the center, bring the top edge to the center, bring the bottom edge to the center. So you will have a 4-inch tail. You can cut the mesh and put it right into the zip tie. So I'm just going to cut it and still not letting go. And on row 2, I'm starting with every other. So I did one, I skipped one, did one, skipped one, did one. I'm going to skip this one, and I'm going to put the edge or the tail of this petal right into the preloaded zip tie till the zip tie hits my finger. Then I know it's 4 inches. Always use zip ties for flowers. Okay, we'll do that again. You can also use pre-make your petals by using little rubber bands. Again, curl up, diamond shape, top corner to the bottom corner. See, my mesh is not completely squared. It doesn't really matter. Putting it on the 20, pinching it at the 16, top in, bottom up, 4-inch tail. You can measure it. And then if you want to pre-make your petals, you can use these little rubber band hair ties that you can get at the dollar store. Go around. All right, and then you can pre-make your petals. We're going to cut the excess tail off, which I have a bucket here, because you guys know I've already done them. Right? There's your petal. The easiest rose wreath now in the world. I have a whole laundry basket here full of petals that I made. I actually put little tiny 4-inch zip ties around them because when you put the zip tie in to the preloaded zip tie on the board, go past the preloaded zip tie, do it up, and then if you use little 4-inch zip ties, it's like a stopper. So if you go to pull that, it's not going to come out. Okay? So if you want to make sure that your petals are much more secure, just use the teeny tiny 4-inch zip ties. They're very, very inexpensive. So there's 3 different ways you can do it. Or you can even staple the end too if you want to make it. But you can put it right in as you're making your wreath. You can use rubber bands. So if you're using the rubber band, we're going to put the tail right in, and I'm closing the zip tie right over top of the rubber band. If you do that, every scalloped edge will be the exact same size, and you'll have a very uniform rose. So again, like I said, I zip tied. Put it in. Make sure your little stopper zip ties past. And look, it won't come out. Okay? So I'm doing every other so that the ones that I do next are going to sit on top of these 2 and make the scallop right here. Okay? I don't think you'll be able to do a rose any easier than this now. And since it's Valentine's Day around the corner, well, everybody loves a rose wreath. Rose wreaths sell fabulous because you can't find them in the stores. And they're so different that people have never seen them that they go cuckoo for coconuts over them. I lost my zip tie there. Okay, I'll just use this. All right, now we're going to go around and cut those 8 zip tie tails off. Okay, we'll throw them in our little garbage bucket. Alrighty, now we're going to go do the rest on row 2. Okay, so these ones are going to sit, like I said, on top, and it fills in this area right here to give that really nice scallop edge. So you just go around counterclockwise or clockwise, and if you do have them pre-made, you just literally pop them in the zip tie. You can use the rose you can make with any kind of mesh out there. I would not use a value mesh that is very light, like white or a light pink or anything, that it's really see-through, because you don't want to see the board. And the value mesh doesn't make the greatest rose. So you can use horizontal wide stripe. There's so many new ones out there. Like I said, this one's a fabric mesh. And if you do love horizontal wide stripe for the Canadians, I will have all the colors back in stock in the new year. Keep in mind, Canadians, we are in the process of moving up to into our new store. So if you've ordered in the last few days, hopefully you're not in a rush for it, because, well, A, it's the busiest season for the couriers, and B, we're moving still. So, okay, row 2 done. So there is the back. We're getting a big rose here. So those are all done. You can flick it, make sure that they're done up, but that's row 2. Now we're going to go on to row 3, exactly the same, except we're not going to skip any. We're just going to go around clockwise or counterclockwise, whatever you want. And you just kind of keep the tails of the ends of that little jellyfish umbrella, whatever you want to call it, kind of pointing down so you don't have to tuck anything in. And as it layers, it's going to keep them all down anyways. I was going to do this after Christmas, but I know a lot of you are starting on your spring Valentine's designs. So I thought, well, maybe I should get this done before Christmas. A whole bunch of jellyfish. You got a gift card. Woo! Fun. Yeah, we'll have a bunch of new stuff in the new year. We're just trying to get our store put together as, you know, as best as we can right now before the holidays. Alrighty, one more on row 3. So we're using a total of 40 pieces of mesh, or 40 petals, because I am doing 8 in row 5. Okay. See if it makes a difference. Not really. It's just seeing if we skip everyone like we did on row 2, if it makes a difference. Not really, but I'll do it anyways. Okay, row 4, same thing. Right in, past my little zip tie stopper. Hello, thank you all for joining me tonight. I was really excited to show you guys this because it's just, you know, sky's the limit now. And like I said, you do not have to make a rose with the center we just did with the felt. You can do a Dean Michael with the rose center, which was called a Sarah flower. We would do it with mesh in the center and the Dean Michael petal. Isn't this turning out? Yes, all the petals, I told you, I'm doing the easy peasiest rose you can think of. All go towards the center. The key is making sure you have a 4-inch tail on your, now I've trimmed mine, but you have to have a 4-inch tail so you get the 2 edges, the 2 corners going down. So you don't have to, you won't have any corners sticking up. They just automatically go downwards. All right, I gotta make a few more. I don't know what I was thinking. Where did they all go? I think I might have left some upstairs. Okay, so I need one more for that row. I am going to put some leaves on in a sec. I think I left some of the petals upstairs, but I got some left over here. So we're going to cut 3 at a time. So I'm just going to roll it out and making sure the bottom edge of my mesh is squared up with one of the lines. So I'm going to cut it at 30, 20, 10. I'm going to get 2 out of this one. All right, again, we'll fold it, square, curl up, diamond shape, top corner and bottom corner. I swing my point to the right because I'm right-handed, 4 inches, so right here, bring it in, cut excess. I'm not letting this go. I'm going to put it right in until the zip tie hits my fingers. That's the 4-inch mark. And there we go. So that is that row done. Oh my, it's so pretty. The cream is beautiful. Okay, so make sure we got them all. Just give it a little flick on the back and they all should be tight. We're good. So we're going to do row 5. I'm going to do the 4. that. I might not have to do all 8. Yeah, I can't wait to, now it's going to be a store / warehouse still. Like, we still have e-commerce, so we have to keep it so that we can still pick orders. But you'll be able to come pick up your order if you're close. And it is right, like literally 5 minutes, not even 5 minutes away from the Queenston-Lewiston Bridge in Niagara Falls, New York. Okay, we got one more here. Now the inner part of the roll is probably not ideal for the very last row, but I didn't realize I had left some petals upstairs. But we'll make it work. Okay, there's the 4 in row 5. Yeah, see how the roll, because I used the very inner of the roll, I would save 8 pieces, the first 8 pieces off the roll, nice fresh ones. Save those 8 pieces for your center. It's the cream colored fabric mesh. Okay, so where we're gonna go is, like, we can do another 8 here, but I don't think I need to because I did this rosebud a little bit large. But we're gonna just take the 2 ends and go right down the center. Flip it over. They're gonna go right in there. First, I'm gonna put my hanger on. So there's the Unique in the Creek logo. Just take a zip tie. Okay. Go. There's the logo. It actually doesn't really matter where you. Oh, I was gonna put green leaves on. Hold on. Let's put a few green leaves on. So I have a really pretty, like, moss green fabric mesh here. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take, I'm only going to put a few green leaves on. I don't like, you can put, 8 going around. I kind of like to only put, a couple. So what I'm going to do, as it's flipped over, there's our top, I am going to put maybe a leaf, couple leaves right here. So 1, 2, we're going to use row 1 to the outside of the board, okay? I got some of this beautiful fern moss green fabric mesh. I didn't heat seal it or wood burn it. I just cut it. But we're just going to make a leaf petal. You can make a veined petal. There's all kinds, but we're just going to do a leaf petal for right now. So this is 10.5 by 10.5. Curl up, turn it into diamond shape. I like to bring the top corner down to the bottom corner. I stick my finger right in the center, and then I bring the top corner to my finger. I'm going to bring the bottom corner just slightly over that corner. So we have this formation. Then I'm going to bring the edge just to the before the middle, and I'm going to bring the top one just before the middle, and then I'm going to pinch it. Okay, so this is what we have. I'm going to flip it over. Well, actually, if you were doing it the other way, like this way, you would flip it over and then flip it up so the good side is showing, and there's the bad side where you can see, you know, the mesh folded in. But because I'm doing it upside down, I'm going to have the bad side showing so that when I go to flip it over, the good side will be showing. Now I've got 2 leaves here, so I'm gonna just put a clothespin onto this one, and I'm gonna make another one. Now, of course, you can still do the original rose with mesh and everything. I was just, like I said, I was getting lots of feedback. People don't like the rose because it's too hard. So I've been working on how to simplify it. And I think this is pretty easy. Okay. So I got my zip tie. It's like an L shape. I'm going to just put it in the middle here. And I'm going to put the other one right here as well. And we're going to come around. Okay, we're going to do it up. Just kind of tuck. I just like to push the leaves kind of under the board before I totally tighten it up. So the mesh is not sitting on the back of the board, so the rose will sit straight on the door. So you just want to tuck it back and then give it a tighten. Cut that off, and there we go. Okay, we got some leaves. And then I'm going to do, I'll do directly across, I'll do another 2. Same thing. So when I flip it up, I'm just making sure that the 2 tips are around the same length. Like it is leaves, so if you want, you don't have to make them the same length. I didn't wood burn this, so I'm just trying to find the best pieces. Okay, so I'm going to bring this one just through the center there. Do it up. The grandbaby is, she actually just left not too long ago. She came over for a quick visit. She is absolutely amazing, talking up a storm. All right, pull it tight, and we're going to cut it off. And now, right here in the very center is where we're going to put our beautiful rosebud that we made. You're going to take your one pipe cleaner down the center, the other pipe cleaner down the center, which the boards are perfect for because that way you don't have a lopsided rosebud. All right, and pull it tight. This is where you want to pull it as tight as you can. Don't worry about pulling it because the cable mounts and hot glue do love each other. So it's pretty much on there. And before I tighten everything, I'm just going to make sure everything's tucked down where it's supposed to. All right, I'm pulling in the back. Okay, we're going to twist. Oh, shoot. Wrong 2 holes. Hold on. Sorry, I'm doing this upside down with no glasses. There we go. Now it's in the center. Pull it again tight. Make sure all your... Yeah, I would, even though my outer ones kind of are a little larger than the yellow one, I would keep it just, as I was explaining, folding them in half. Do fold it in half all the way around. I think the 8-inch bud will be better for your rose center than the 10-inch. So, but I do love the glitter just on the little bit of the ends of the petals here. Isn't that pretty? All right, we're gonna pull. Now we're in the center. Give it a couple twists. We're gonna cut the excess pipe cleaner off. And what are you gonna do on the back of your board if you're selling this? You are going to put a sticker with your business name or your Etsy store. You're going to put a business card if you don't have a sticker. And if it's a gift, you can write on the back of your gift, love, with a Sharpie marker. There we go. And voila. Beautiful. Really hard to see, I know. I should have maybe did red. Beautiful rose. Much, much easier. And this rose measures, hold on, I'm going to make sure all your ends are tucked in. Make it pretty. And this rose, without the leaves, this rose measures 22 inches in diameter. With the leaves, 30. All right, so there is the front. That's the side. You can see it's very thin, so it's great for shipping, and it definitely fits between 2 doors. So that is a bonus. And of course, the Unique and the Creep, nice and neat back, no tucking in, all kinds of pipe cleaners and all that jazz. Nice flat back. And that's what I wanted to show you. Felt, 6 pieces of 9x12 felt. Just the stuff from the dollar store. You need 30 circles at 4 inches. Fold the circles in half, going around your 4-inch cup. Or if you want the center smaller, use a 3-inch cup. And just keep layering with your hot glue gun. Put a circle on the back. Put the cable mount with your pipe cleaner. And there you go. Voila. A beautiful rose center. Alrighty. Yay! This is really pretty. I'm going to go around and make sure. If some of your petals look a little funky, like they're not really scalloped really well, go around and check to make sure that the corners are not stuck into the neighboring petal. Or stuck or folded over and stuff. Alrighty. And that's all I got for you guys. Thank you so much for joining me. Hope you guys like this. Again, I should be seeing a lot more roses. Valentine's coming. I want to see some red, some pink, yellow for my friend Dre, who's the Yellow Rose of Texas. Yeah. Okay, everybody. Thanks, and I should see you guys again before the holidays. But if I don't, and you guys, I know next week is going to be crazy busy for everyone. If I don't see you, have yourselves a wonderful and safe holiday. And we'll see you in the